Hi everyone, I'm Gregory Benjamins and I'm the co-founder and head of growth at DotYeti.com. And today I'd like to talk about how we help marketing agencies get creative work done in a flexible and affordable way. Also like to talk about how you can actually become a Picasso machine in less than 30 days by combining creativity and efficiency. And on top of that, I'd like to share a few more tips on how to actually improve your quality and attract more clients. Before I'll dive into that, I'd like to give you a bit of a background about our company. We ourselves actually also come from an agency background. So we also run EOI Digital. It's a result-driven marketing agency. So we really know where you're coming from. We have the same headaches, the same frustrations. And before we started DotYeti, actually we had a very inconsistent workflow. We're always looking for different creative partners to deliver new projects, and as a result, we wasted a lot of time and money. We were operating for about 3 years. We launched over 1,000 campaigns, did over 100 clients, all international, with around 20 campaigns per week. And the old way how we did it was very unstructured, with a lot of different type of tools, and we completely lost overview. It was really hard to find what the projects were running, what the status was of all the designs. But after we launched Yeti, we actually were able to create a platform, just one solution, where we really saw all the clients and projects in one. So my partner Roy, CEO of both EOI Digital as well as Yeti, he also mentioned that through this platform we were able to provide designs at a fast pace while maintaining outside of the box creativity, because those are really the two key values that we have. Creativity and efficiency is the key to scaling both our and your business. So here's a few examples. We really work with a lot of different niches, a lot of different industries, anywhere from your real estate to your health, co-working spaces, events, a lot of different companies we helped throughout the last few years. Personally, I've been actually working on Guide. So Guide is an interactive media agency. So we focused on interactive contents and as well as animations. With this, we actually work with the largest agency in the world, based in Southeast Asia. Check out the website for more information. Also, before Yeti, we were always looking for especially cheap creative resources to outsource to. But also this at the end was more counterproductive. So before we always, we used a lot of Upwork, but also other websites like Fiverr, locally freelancers. And what we just noticed is that it's very inconsistent, the work, because also they have no workflows. And usually designers are only focused on one type of style. Very unreliable because they are working with a lot of different other clients, and it required a lot of delegation. So there's always a lot of back and forth, a lot of revisions. But yeah, ever since the Yeti, we really were able to create a very reliable, consistent quality work. So super happy with that. A bit more information about Guide. Did over 50 clients, work with, again, the biggest agencies in the world, like WPP, Group M, Dense. And for us, yeah, we were always really looking at a flexible solution, because as probably you can relate to this as well, there's some months that you'll be more busy than other ones. So we didn't want one that has constantly high overheads, right? So inexpensive, of course, but still provide that reliable output. And again, that's what we luckily were able to create with Yeti. And really designs all over. So from your social media to on-the-screen content, interactive media, events, and much more. Also, we work with other clients, of course, other agencies. So DPL is an example, based in London. Their agency focused on personality-based marketing. Super nice. Before they started with us, they actually only had one graphic designer to handle all of their clients and also internal work. But after that, we were able to support them with a lot of different type of creative work, different channels. Before, they did a lot of stock elements, a lot of static ads. But now we're doing a lot of cool animations as well, all across their social media, and also supporting their clients. So Ashley, super nice girl, the customer success and marketing manager of DPL, and she also mentioned that the collaboration turned out great, And what I really liked is that she also helped us to recommend to others. So that also really proves that you're doing a good job, of course. Here's another example of an animation that we did. Yeah, and this is also how we differentiate from others, I would say. Besides just the regular graphic designs like social media and such, we also have a lot of cool animations, motion graphics, and video editing that we help our clients with. All right. Then for another example, agency that actually is focusing on startups with funding them locally. So their motto: growth capital simplified. Very nice Gen fee. So spending a lot of money on graphic design, actually based in Singapore. And they had quite an inconsistent graphic design, I would say. So sometimes stock photos, sometimes a little bit more animated, sometimes more creative. It was all over the place. But since we've been helping them, as you can see on the right, we really create a very consistent design throughout all their different marketing collaterals at a very affordable cost. All right, so who do we help? These are really for agencies that constantly need a reliable creative support. We understand that you have limited budgets and especially deadlines. So this is something that we're really focusing on. You tried freelancers, you tried agencies, maybe internally, but it just didn't work out. You probably got very frustrated throughout the process because you value creativity, efficiency, but also consistency. And you probably noticed that a lot of designers that you work with do not live up to all three of those standards. Like you can find designers that are creative, but then often they're not efficient or consistent. You can find partners that are efficient, but they're not as creative. It's very hard to find all three in one. You're an agency who, of course, want to focus on growth. You don't want to be limited by spending a lot of time on delegating or managing designers. You just want to have someone reliable that you can, give away all your work to. And finally, I mean, it's just super hard. It's a very competitive market, right? The agencies, there's so many of them popping up now. So you want to find a way to differentiate, whether it's through service, whether it's through your margins, and that's all definitely how we can help. So you're probably wondering now: is it really possible to create a graphic design service that's reliable, efficient, and affordable? So yeah, I mean, I can understand that this sounds almost impossible, right? There's this classic diagram where they say, okay, you can either have good quality and cheap, but you won't get it fast. You can get fast and cheap, but it won't be good. It's almost impossible to rock all three. But yeah, or is it, right? So because this is really the core concept of DotYeti. It's like an oxymoron because generally creatives are not efficient. Efficient people are not very creative, but it's actually possible and easier than ever. So the way we created with our platform, with our people, after it took years of experience actually before we were able to pinpoint all the problems, find solution, develop the right processes to get the results that we needed. But eventually, we were able to nail it down, and we're getting an amazing feedback from different clients all over the world, from all different type of industries, from startups, SMEs to large banks, corporations, agencies. So yeah, super excited to actually share this with you now. And yeah, that was kind of the result. So at the end, we built a platform that helps agencies to get creative work within just 24 to 48 hours. I mean, we got so many complaints of agencies and companies that say that even internally or from their partners, they had to wait sometimes 1 week or 2 weeks to get simple things done. We found a way to consistently deliver it in 1 or 2 days while maintaining high creativity, while really value brand consistency. And right now, we're really the only one in the market that can provide those high quality designs at super fast turnarounds at super low rates as well. So let me give you a bit more information about our core team. So this is me and my two co-founders. We've been knowing each other actually already for almost 10 years. Roy, I've been friends with since college in Holland. Amadeo, I actually met in Thailand doing business, and we clicked right away. around what eight. That was around 8 years ago, and yeah, super awesome. We're a very complementary team. Roy, CEO, he's super structured, very creative. Always was working in the marketing industry, handled all of the clients and campaigns. Personally, me, I'm Dutch, Swiss, Indonesian. You're probably wondering who I am. Born in the Netherlands, but I've been spending most of my time in Asia. I used to be a professional poker player, but I always had this passion for business, creativity, but also people. So I'm focusing more on the partnerships, on the business development, and growth in general. So like for example, now we're also doing fundraising, which is going really well. I'm taking the responsibilities on that side. But even then, the last 6 years, I've always been working in media and branding. So finally, Amadeo, our CTO, super technical guy, very knowledgeable. Also, always worked in software, built a lot of different platforms. Also, exited his own creative startup, and yeah, of course, we have also an amazing team of designers, art directors. We're based in the Philippines as well as Thailand, and together we've really been able to get an amazing team to execute all of the designs. So yeah, start off with three men on an adventure, right? Over all those years, we've all had difficulties finding capable and reliable designers. I mean, throughout all the companies that we worked, all the businesses that we've built, and that's another thing, right? Every company needs designers. And we also noticed that also other agencies had the same challenge. So everybody was saying how expensive and unreliable they were. And also that for everyone, it was, I mean, we could sustain, we could, build a business, but not really scale rapidly. And we noticed that a lot of our time and resources went to actually the creative side. So that's why we decided to solve it ourselves. I mean, at the beginning, we tried to look elsewhere, right? Who out there is able to provide us with this thing that we need, something quick, something reliable, scalable. Also, you want someone to be able to handle more work at once. So I think we all have this one freelancer that's actually amazing, that's super creative, that's affordable and reliable, but then he will not be able to handle 10 clients at the same time, right? So it's not very scalable. So yeah, that's what we did. We focus on creativity, efficiency at the right price. We built this platform. We developed super tight SOPs. We really focus on sublime project management. So it's not just one designer that we're putting on a client's project. We also make sure we include art directors. We've got project managers, and make sure that the entire user experience from beginning to end is well executed. And yeah, at the end, that's how we were able to really combine the three aspects. Once again, I think I've been telling these three values quite often, so I'll skip it this time. But I can explain on them. So quality wise, again, super consistent, but always valuing the company. Also, unlimited, both design and revisions. I think that's very important. Like even though you can be cheap at once, that this is something other agencies do. They it's like a clickbait. They attract clients by charging very cheap for the first project, but then afterwards they will charge you ridiculous amounts, right? So that's also a bit of an issue in both the freelance and the agency world. It's very untransparent, so you don't really know how much you're end up gonna how much you will end up paying. But with us, it's super transparent. Like we're very clear on what we give. Starting at only $3.99 per month for unlimited designs. If you want animations, we have other package options as well. But even our top tier is only $19.90. There's like less than $2,000 per month, but you'll get your full service team for that, which I'll elaborate on later. Which is just like half of the price of a regular salary. All right. Yeah. So, .yeti.com, unlimited designs, just $3.99 per month. And that's how we started. That's what we created. We really wanted to become that shoulder that agencies can lean on. We actually started in January, so only this year. Not been operating so long, but we've experienced tremendous growth. New clients every month, very low churn rate, amazing feedback. You can check out our case studies on our website, and super excited for this. So here we are. So how can you, even yourself, transform into a lean Picasso machine? There's 4 steps that we came up with. First one, make sure you optimize your creative flows, which I'll elaborate a bit later on. Decentralize your team. It's very interesting. It became a very popular concept, right? Decentralization. But and we found a way to actually apply that to our creative structure as well, as should you. Worship brand consistency. This is the most important thing in the creative world, and something also a lot of agencies actually lose their clients with. And finally, be data driven, especially in this world. Focus on generating results. All right. So how can you optimize your creative workflow? First of all, you should become aware of every single step in your project. So starting from the moment you onboard your client to the last point when you deliver your project. So we're talking about anywhere from the briefing and debriefing, from the company values, even the emotions that company rise. These are very important questions throughout the creative workflow, right? Even revisions. Look throughout the team. Who are all your stakeholders? What client? What designer are you allocating to what client? What project manager suits the project best? Become very aware, write it out, and also define the pain points and solutions to each point. Most companies, most agencies, they actually only start to find a new designer or a new partner after they got a new project in. So what happens is they literally spend 30% of their time of the project to just finding and assessing new designers. And what happens is at the end, okay, they're barely able to finish a new project, but for the next project, they need to do it all over again. I'm sure you can relate to this, right? And it's such an inefficient and time wasting process that you really need to avoid from happening in the future again. Always make sure you get a backup. If you make sure you got somebody that can start right away the moment you got a new project. Make sure it's scalable, right? So make sure it's someone that can handle or not just 1 or 2 clients, but even 10 or 20, in order to also make your deadlines. So also, these were just generic workflows, but what's even more interesting that for every single type of project, the workflows are slightly different, right? So here's just a few example things that we do, right? We got animations, we got social media contents, general marketing, collaterals, branding, but also corporate presentations. And you'll notice that the workflow for every single aspect is very different, right? With animations, you've got your script, you've got your voiceover. For branding, you've got your values, you've got your brand style guide. For presentations, it's going to be there's going to be more metrics involved. So really visualize all these different aspects and find a way to optimize them. So as I was mentioning, we did a lot of interviews, spoke to a lot of agencies, and you notice that 30% of their time is often being spent on just not only finding designers, but also managing them. All right, so here's just a few examples of the different. All right, here's a few examples of different steps of the creative workflow, and also how other agencies or how agencies would handle it traditionally. So let's say you're an agency and you're getting more clients in. So normally the first thing that you do, or you hire somebody full time, of course, right? So you go to all the job platforms, or you're looking for a new freelancer to work with, like Upwork, Fiverr, or you're looking out for a new agency. What usually happens is you're spending 2 to 4 weeks just to find these people. Yeah, you have no guarantee, because even after you I'm sure you can relate to this. Like, you had an amazing interview, you had an amazing assessment, amazing pitch, but at the end they back out, right? Or they are not as driven anymore as they were at the beginning. So you end up losing a lot of time. Right? Most companies, they ask other agencies to pitch for, let's they ask maybe 10 agencies to pitch, or even freelancers. Then they choose to continue with three of them. But at the end, they're losing a lot of time and therefore money. But right now, so how do we do it? We auto generate a scalable backup that's ready to start right away. So let's say, for example, with us, you contact us now, we start tomorrow, and we guarantee you results. We guarantee you high quality designs within the right time frame. And therefore, the new result, it's 10 times faster, it's more reliable, and most importantly, very scalable. So always have these backup resources. Other part is the client onboarding. So this is also something that generally takes a lot of time. One of the reasons is because agencies are just not fully aware of all the different information related to the client, right? So what are really, besides their brand style guide, what are their values, their desires, emotions? Make sure you really automate this entire process. Like before, a lot of agencies, they would have a lot of frequent revisions. They would be changing designers for every project. At least that happened with us, because we did not have this standardized onboarding. Um, and once you do, you'll be able to again save a lot of time, but more importantly, you reduce the margin error. So if the more information you have, you better spend a lot of time on planning. The less mistakes will be made either by you or the designers. So really, automating this entire onboarding will optimize brand consistency as well as the output. Then, even after onboarding, looking at the entire project flow, briefing, debriefing. This is also something that you notice with many clients. They'll use so many different tools to do the actual briefing, right? They want to have a meeting, they want to summarize it by email, create multiple attachments and follow up with another ones. Then they suddenly send you another message by WhatsApp, they give you another call. You've got information all over the place from all different type of clients. You've got an endless back and forth, and then again, you'll probably miss out on multiple things. So what you should do, or what we did, is we created one platform where you get everything in one, very transparent, very efficient, and it will also help you avoid headaches both at your side as well as your client side. And then finally, project delivery. I think these would be the four core steps. Obviously, there's many more, but just to give you some pointers. Um, Most of the projects the people usually do is through emails. They got a lot of different threads, again, a lot of different tools, totally losing overview. This is what we really experienced with all the agencies that we had and the clients that we work with. But make sure you standardize all the deliverables. Standard the deliverables in terms of designs, in terms of tools. That platform should really help, but at the end you will be able to easily manage multiple projects and get a better overview of things. So then how do you optimize your workflows? First of all, write everything out, right? These 4 points that I gave in the previous slide is maybe 10% of all the different steps that actually are taking place. Also, again, write all the pain points. What's going wrong? What creates most of the headaches with you, with your designers, with the project managers, and what are the relevant solutions to it? So write that out, both for yourself, but also create a manual eventually for your employees. We actually have different manuals for every single position inside the organization. Measure data, so every single step, right? How much time is that costing me? How much money is that costing me? What are the ways to improve it? So even now, let's say you're spending time on finding a new designer, whether it's by looking going at new platforms, whether it's interviewing them, whether it's assessing them. There's every single step takes significant time, which you will need to optimize, and you'll only know if you're optimizing it if you're measuring it. So this is super important to do. And then also for the partners, once you've found someone that you actually are keen to work with, make sure to check them on their workflows. So do they have an efficient way to actually help you scale, get the designs delivered fast? Like we're so often talking to companies. They're like, oh yeah, I'm spending very very little money on my designers. You're not even cheaper. No, but we're getting 5 times more things done within a month, right? They are still spending 40% of their time to manage those designers. They still say, yeah, well, okay, you're right. There's a lot of back and forth. I have to spend 6 days on revisions. So you want someone not only that's cheap but also works very efficiently, is experienced with all the different workflows as well as the high creative output. And so even for us, as a result, of optimizing these workflows, 95% of all of our designs are delivered in just less than 48 hours. It's like in 1 to 2 days. And I'm not talking about one time, consistently every single day we're delivering new designs for different clients. Also just because we have a very healthy designer client ratio. So I think also a mistake is what a lot of agencies do is that they really overstretch their resources. So they would, whether it's 5 or 10 clients, they would still only put them to on one designer, which eventually is killing everyone in the business. Here's an overview of of a few of the designs that we do and how fast we deliver them. So as you can see, the majority also from request is really done in just 1 to 2 days. I mean, definitely the revisions, right? There's no excuse for revisions to be delivered in a week, let's say, which in theory sounds normal, but unfortunately, it's something that happens a lot. I mean, only the things that would take longer are your animation, animating videos, your explainer videos, motion graphics, video editing. But even this is something we're doing like at least 3 times faster. Like most agencies would still take, let's say, 3 to 4 weeks to create an animation video, but with us, we still are able to do that in a week or less. And as Picasso said, only put off until tomorrow what you're willing to die having left undone. Yeah, I found that quite powerful. I mean, it's creative agencies are known for their last minute work, not making their deadlines. But really, if you structure your workflows well, if you get a healthy designer client ratio, there's no need to panic. Yeah, here's just an example. Another marketing agency that we work with, Hotel Bookie, very cool company. So they're actually creating customized marketing brochures. So it's a physical brochure that they're making for every different hotel, focusing on all the amenities to actually drive the in-house revenues, the in-house sales. They're doing like pitches to over 20 to 50 hotels per month, and we're supporting them with these pitches. So most of them, their salespeople call us. Okay, we just, tomorrow we're pitching a new client. They just scheduled a meeting, maybe in 2 days. So we had to find a way to deliver that super fast while still making creative, while still making it personalized. And I thought it was a really cool example of how we support a agency with the constant deliveries. All right, step 2: decentralizing your team. Work, or simple words, work flexible. Again, it's something I notice. There's a lot of agencies. They just hire a lot of they get a one big client in or get a few big clients in, and they start hiring full time. Um, I think best is to decentralize it. Get a strong core. That way, you keep your overheads low, and you just need to make sure that you have this reliable support. Ideally, you just want to switch on and switch off your resources every time you get a client in. Because what happens is that generally when these big clients disappear, you don't want to end up with high overheads after all, because then at the end of the year your profits are still low. And I think you rather have somebody that you just know you can count on, to actually have a very stable and healthy profit margin throughout the entire year. So how do you find someone like that, right? How do you find someone that's not only good but also is flexible and scalable? So firstly, always look at track records, right? What are the type of clients and projects that they have and do? What are the conditions? So do they focus on one-time projects or do they focus on long-term? So do they have? So for example, with us, we have these standardized, transparent packages. If you're talking to someone and they're like, okay, I'm gonna just charge you a random amount, because they usually do one-time purchases or just want to gain the most out of it, it just shows that they're in here for the short term. Very very important to look at long-term partnerships here. Look at the contract terms, right? Is it monthly, periodically, or do they still have to change it because they just want to get you on board, and they're gonna create all new types of terms and conditions? Look at the resources. So this is also a very very sensitive one, because there's a lot of agencies, they outsource everything, which is still not sustainable. There's a lot of agencies out there, they actually just have a few salespeople, and then every time they get a new client in, they just find someone to take care of it. And you don't want someone like that to actually scale your business with and to really have your projects depend on. So do they have a big team of designers that can support any demand in house? Always make sure about that. All right, here's another example. So Ava Software, a very cool company doing software for luxury yachts, and as you know, tourism has been the most affected industry during COVID. So with us, no problem, right? Very flexible. They just simply turn it off whenever all the hospitality things open up again. We just resume. We're familiar with all the workflows. We got all their assets, so it's super flexible. And at the end, that's something you want as well, right? You don't want to even have a designer that's or partner that still wants to charge you all the way, or after you end with them, they're too busy with other clients. No, you want someone that even now you have to pause. You can count on to continue over a certain period of time whenever you need them again. Yeah, so it's a little explainer video. All right. Okay, step 3, worship brand consistency. Yeah, this is, I mean, we've been covering this a few times already, but we just noticed this is really one of the top complaints of clients, that they see that designers and agencies just don't respect the brand. They just, I mean, creativity is super important, but we always need to make sure that we follow the customer. The customer is king, and do it within their brand guidelines. So yeah, this is also, we even without saying anything, we really get a lot of feedback, of clients. They tell us how well we understand their brand. And remember, it's not just only about following the brand style guide, but it's also about really understanding what they want, how they communicate themselves to the world, what their values are, what the emotions are that they want to create with clients. So this is all part of those workflows as well. Create a consistent one that allows you and your designers or your partners to really follow it through the end. Okay, so how do I achieve brand consistency? Again, these are the three main things that I was already mentioning. First things first, get a brand style guide. This is so important. If companies don't have it yet, create it. We build it for our clients, And also right now we're only working with clients that are willing to have that. At the beginning, we worked with a few that actually did not want to have the brand style guide. They wanted to rush into to other designs, and no, this is priority, this is more important. But what happens, you get a very inconsistent flow, very inconsistent output. You'll get back and forth because you have not decided on a mutual solid brand, and end up we had to revise designs 10 times again, because it was not clear what the vision was in terms of branding, even though all the designs were super nice. So as you know, a lot of clients don't know themselves what they want, and this is something, it's like a bible, what you want to conclude within the brand style guide. And again, so not just visually, but also think of the brand's values and emotions. And at the end, integrate it to your workflow. So make sure every single step that it's always considering the brand inside your mind as well. All right, then there's something Ogilvy always said. I love this one. If you want to be interesting, be interested. This is also one of my personal core values. It's very important for me to really know who I'm dealing with, both personally and professionally. And also, this is one of our core values as a company. We're very service minded. We really want to get to know what your goals are, what you want to achieve as your company, but also as in working with us. So it's very important to be interested. So I hope you can also have that towards your clients. I mean, there's so many agencies and businesses, freelancers that just focus on making money, right? They just focus on the short term. They just want want the money, and then regardless of what happens afterwards. With us, from the very beginning, we value to have a proper onboarding, proper introduction. Make sure we're in one line. And I think that's one of the key elements to also a long-term partnership. All right, so Dr. Logic, Logic, sorry, amazing company. They're a marketing agency that actually focuses on the healthcare, and I find it very interesting because they were growing super fast. And what happens is that they were doing amazing work with their clients, but because they were spending all of their time on their clients, they were able to they were not able to get a consistent branding. So throughout all their different marketing channels, from social media, LinkedIn, but also their presentations, their corporate marketing, their marketing materials, it was lacking a uniform branding, and that's actually how we were able to support them. So once we came in, we were able to really create a super nice, consistent, uniform brand. Andre, Chief Revenue Officer of Dr. Logic, because a lot of the designs that we also do, we're also supporting them with their fundraising, with the metrics. So he's one of the main contacts as well. And he mentioned our new sleek and modern graphic designs are wonderful. High quality of our digital branding finally match our high quality service. I'm laughing because I remember the first day that our introduction, our onboarding, where he said, "Greg, we want to become more sleek. We want to become more modern. Our current branding is a little bit too old fashioned." So it's really nice to actually to read this, right? It really resonates with the objective. It comes back to, we're always really looking at what does the client want, and there's nothing more beautiful to actually see that happen in reality. All right, then finally, this is so important in the current world: be data driven and generate results. So data driven, we already covered that a little bit about during the workflow. So it's very important to really measure all the data for every steps, but also, and this is like a bit of an add-on to really increase the quality of your designs and attract more clients. If you're more data driven and you're able to use that to you can generate more engaging designs and also high converting campaigns. And this is something so few creative companies can do. So if you're able to, again, combine that creativity with, let's say, efficiency, or at least this metric dynamic, you'll get such great feedback. You'll get a more attention. Always, test multiple variations. And companies also really appreciate if you think more than only what they ask for. So we hear that a lot too. We like to come up with different variations, to also see what the outcome is. So, given our background with UI digital, we're super data driven. We're also very familiar with all the metrics that Facebook and other marketing channels are tracking. So yeah, this is a cool example actually for one of our Dutch clients. So, your traditional photo image versus your customized, I want to say data driven, but more highlighting the important features for the product. It's super interesting what the results were. So yeah, before they were just using photography, what they did, and then after working with us, we really designed all the different marketing material to really focus on the USPs. Yeah, and then it's really cool to see the results in less than a few weeks. So we're very curious, what's the difference in outcome between, let's say, the photography content versus the one focusing more on the features and USPs, and also maybe because it's customized design. And you'll notice immediately that it's there were over 100 purchases versus barely anyone, because it just was not grabbing the attention. And yeah, it's nice how we combine both the design and marketing element. And yeah, they were really, ever since they were using graphic design, they were able to skyrocket the sales. This is actually a video that they sent to us, showing how many more products they sold, and they eventually even got stressed about having too many online orders. Yeah, so that was cool. All right, there's another client based in the Philippines. So before, they were also doing all of the designs in-house, using quite low quality designs and graphic elements for their campaigns. But afterwards, we really upgraded it, made it very clear, very clean. And it's interesting because immediately you saw that the cost was decreased per lead by 20% in, again, a period of less than 2 weeks. All right, so those were a bit of the steps. Just a summary, right? So how can you become a lean Picasso machine? How can you be creative and efficient at the same time? Make sure you structure your workflows, decentralize your team, be flexible, worship brand consistently, and really be data driven and generate results to attract more clients. So, all right, what are the options to get this kind of reliable, flexible, and affordable design? Option one would be the hard way, right? You can spend weeks or even months doing it yourself to really structure all the workflows. Maybe you can hire somebody full time to do it. But you can also try out freelancers again. But all of these things, without the fact that there's no guarantee that it works, because most of them will not be as experienced developing it. It's gonna be a very long and difficult training. So yeah, here you can see, right? I think these numbers are quite accurate. If you want to hire somebody full time, it's gonna be anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000. It will take you at least 1 month, I would say. If you find an agency that's more experienced, okay, they'll probably be able to do it with you after 1 or 2 weeks, because you're the first week, you're probably still looking for these different agencies, having some of them pitch. But it's going to be rather expensive, depending on the agency. If you want to have a professional one, it will cost you at least $10,000. And then there's freelancers. So freelancers, okay, they'll be able to do it more affordable, a bit more quick. But then again, they have a limited capacity, and it's very hard to find reliable freelancers. And then there's the second option, which is the simple way. You can even get started today. You get a full serviced, experienced team. You'll get results this very week. Remember, in 48 hours, we'll be able to send you the first drafts. Maybe if it's a bit more complicated to understand the briefing, it will be in 3 or 4 days. But the follow-up designs will definitely be as fast. You'll be able to save tens of thousands of dollars. It's really incredible the output that we can deliver and the amount of money that you can save. We'll make sure that you make all of your deadlines, and also we support you only when you need it, right? So if you right now you're like, okay, I don't need it yet, don't worry, come back in a few more weeks. Or if you're like, hey, we need you this month, but we want to pause it by next month, we also get that a lot. No worries, just pause it whenever you have a low workload. Focusing on super high quality. Check out our website for more case studies. We always take the effectiveness of visuals in consideration. Remember, we're very result driven. And also, if we notice that some designs do not provide you with the results that you expect, then we can definitely change them accordingly. And finally, also what I think differentiates us from a lot of other agencies is that we treat you and each of your clients individually, right? So we're not working like a machine that doesn't care about their clients. We'll make sure you get a strong identity. Each design will be customized to you, and you'll get the service that you deserve with all the creativity on top. So here are the different mentorships that we have. Again, we started only $3.99 USD per month. For that, you'll get a dedicated designer. We'll just do one project or brand at the same time. And you'll get all your basic graphic designs. So let's say your banners, your social media designs, your posters, all your must-haves that cover most designs. And again, you can consult monthly, and all the communication will go through our platform. Then there's the premium ones. So this is focusing on more extra creative input, and as well as more custom illustrations. So by the way, for the basic ones, we don't do the customized illustrations. And we give you the personal Yeti at premium, which is like your creative assistant. It's an art director. With this, we are able to actually give you 2 projects at the same time. So let's say on one hand, you want to do a rebranding. The other hand, you want to do social media design. We just work on them simultaneously. So we can do a lot of cool customized illustrations. Think of infographics, presentations, ebooks, much more. Also GIFs. GIFs are very high in demand right now. We've got a crazy amount of people asking for that because it's really more engaging. And also for entire branding projects. So if you want to have a rebranding for yourself or for one of your clients, that would also be included at premium and not at basic. And also we'd be able to help you directly through Slack. Then the final one, the royal one, which is really your full creative team. This is really amazing. I'm really proud of all the awesome videos that we're producing every week. So for this, you're getting your dedicated designer, animator, and the art director or your personal Yeti. So this includes video editing, video graphics, animations, motion graphics, and also web page design. So also super nice, whether it's your landing pages or websites in general. We also include that one in the royal package, as well as the animated illustrations, which includes the video graphics. And also very important is that we allow a backlog. So that's like, okay, after you're done with these two requests, you can work on the next one, and also unlimited brands. So by the way, the basic one is just for one brand. So it's maybe only for your agency. The premium one is if you have multiple brands. And the royal one is just for unlimited amount of clients. Here's a nice overview of how we compare to all the different alternatives. So, looking at pricing, starting at $3.99, if you would hire that internally, it would cost you at least $3,000. Especially with all the overheads and whatnot. For the $2,000 with an animator, it's going to be actually much more than that. Freelancers, if you would look at them full time, they're generally looking at around $4K, and then agencies can anywhere be north of $7,000. I mean, obviously they also would do it for less, but then again, if you're looking at the output, we would be able to provide much more. Reliable, with us again, we're always there. We consistently deliver. We never ever had a design that should take 2 days that we delivered in 1 week. Never. So I think that alone shows how reliable we are. I mean, you'll get it internally as well, right? Because you have a short control. Agencies, a lot of agencies, they're getting too many projects on their hands, and they will not able to provide that high service to all of their clients. So they're less reliable. Same applies to freelancers. I mean, I've had so many bad experiences. Very few of both of them are really able to deliver the deadlines that they're mentioning. Speed, efficiency, again, super fast. Okay, internally, if you need something, let's say this hour, we're not able to do that, right? For us, we do have same day deliveries. But generally it's next day. So okay, that's a little advantage that internally has. You can have it super fast. But definitely agencies and freelancers would not be able to do it at the speed that we do. And flexibility, right? With us, super flexible. I mean, every month you can change it, you can pause it, you can increase the package, you can decrease the package. Internally, you won't be able to do that. You cannot just fire somebody next month, or well, it's going to cost you a couple months of severance. It's a painful lesson that we learned throughout COVID. Agencies, often they're subject to clients. So if they're quiet, yeah, sure, they'll be flexible with you. If they have a lot of clients on board, nah, they'll be like, sorry, we're too busy right now. You need to find someone else. Same applies to freelancers. Like freelancers, they often maybe go for a full-time project after you leave them, and then you cannot get back to them. You have to start all over again from scratch. We're in here for the long haul. We'll be able to support you any given time, no matter how many projects we have. Because also part of our workflows is to always get a very healthy client designer ratio. Remember I mentioned that? We track this every single week. This is one of the most important metrics that we track. Is it still healthy? The moment we have like the green, orange, and red zone, the moment we get into green or the red zone, we immediately hire new people. But even that has a solid margin for us that we can still, let's say, stretch it for a week or so. Plus, we have a very solid backup and database of people that we want to hire, because we're constantly interviewing. We have a very high standard of acceptance. So we only work with super highly creative people that also can follow our workflows. And part of the assessments, they also have to go through these workflows. So we always have more designers that can join right away that are even familiar with our standards. DotYeti, comparing to other alternatives, Ground News. Oh, I love this company. This is one of the things I always complain about, is how subjective most of the media is. And Ground News it's a very cool platform. They're providing news from a geopolitical perspective, so you can actually see the same news article from a left wing perspective to a right wing to objective. It's super cool. Harleen Carr, she's actually the CEO of Ground News, the founder. She used to be a NASA engineer. One of my favorite clients. It's been a big relief that Yeti has been taking over a lot of projects. Yeah, because every single day they're delivering new content. We're doing a lot of things for them, a lot of cool animated stuff, illustrated things. So yeah, this one I'm really enjoying. Then there's Genfi. Genfi, so also the founder, Jeffrey Liu. What we love about the Yeti, besides the very creative work, is that they're super flexible, whether through packages or contracts. We always felt very comfortable working with them. Yeah, and then that's another thing, right? If you feel like some packages, we also do that with some clients, that you either, let's say, whether it's a budget thing, whether maybe you like premium but you want some of the elements of royal, we can always work something out. We're very flexible. So here are also a few cool sample designs that we did. Joan, get links, super cool HR tech platform. Yeah, they're always struggling to find a full service creative partner at a fair price. That's something you notice as well, right? We get it a lot that some clients are happy with one type of designer. So for example, they have a great social media designer, but then they still are looking for that video editor, or they're still looking for a proper branding animator, illustrator, and we cover everything. So also with Get Links, we did so many different type of designs, yeah, I like that. They call themselves a Tinder for job networking. Growth Gurus, another agency, they helped us reaching higher results for our campaigns by providing highly effective visuals and variations for A/B testing. Yeah, so this is something we also really work closely with regarding the agencies. Chris, based in Malta, actually. We have clients all over the world. That's also one of the more exciting things of this business. So quick and dirty benefits. Again, super much time saving, both in a short term and a long term. Switching costs, I think, are one of the most underestimated costs in a company or in a business. It's a mistake I made myself as well. I always thought, okay, if I go for cheap, that saves me a lot of money. But then again, the time that you're spending on finding that person and afterwards switching again to alternatives is gonna cost you a lot of money. Direct dollar saving. Obviously, we're a much cheaper alternative to other solutions. And also you'll be able to really boost both your production output and your clients. So both your satisfaction of your current clients and also attracting more clients. Because of the output, because of the efficiency, the quality, but also because you have more time for yourself to focus on your clients. Let me show you quickly the platform. How does it work? We keep it very simple, very efficient. You'll just get your very nice minimal overview of the clients that you have, of the projects that you're working on, the different designs for each project. You can clearly see, okay, what is the progress? When do I need to review? You get access to the files over here. And once you do, just submit your request. We'll make sure that you get a dedicated designer. So based on the style that you like, or based on the request, we'll make sure to put someone on it. Also, part of the introduction or even elaboration here, you can mention whether certain clients are long-term. So we know, and maybe you have multiple clients, so we can put multiple designers on those multiple clients. And thirdly, once you put in your request, so let's say you give all the information, you give some nice references, clear briefing, mention where do you want the design, the different deliverables, then you'll get the designs within just 1 to 3 days, or even faster. So that's it. It's super clean, super simple, and again, because we structured everything, we had the entire process. For brand consistency, we give you the personal onboarding before you can actually submit your request. The communication super efficient. We get very flexible contracts. No more HR headaches, just because we can give you the monthly subscription, and you can simply get started today. Well, some of the product categories, but honestly, we really do everything that you can think of. Anywhere from your banners, promotions, branding, PowerPoint designs, marketing collateral, social media, web, and much more. A few add-ons that we can do. So if you're on let's say a premium package, we can also still do the animated videos at an add-on cost. Same applies to website design. Also UI UX for mobile apps we can support with, and we're even now also looking at a white label for agencies. So yeah, check out more work on our website that we've done. Even animations. Yeah, I love this. Is always my favorite. In case you didn't check it out yet, it's on YouTube. Yeah, your product videos, motion graphics, all sorts of things. Here's some more logo animations. Yeah. And I like this one. Behind every design, there is a Yeti. Yeah. All right, yeah, just so you know, remember we do have that healthy designer client ratio. So even now, we just trained a new squad. We handled 10 more agencies. We can handle around 10 more agencies this month. So if you wait and we are at full occupancy, we need to put you on a waiting list. I mean, still, we will try to accept as many as we can, but we really focus on service and quality. So we don't want to overstretch our resources. So yeah, even though we do have our database, so on a monthly basis we can safely accept more clients. But if you are in a rush, then yeah, really be aware. Okay, I think you can delete that last part. If you're in a rush, being aware. Yeah, I'm just thinking because I'm contradicting where at first I said we're scalable and that we have the database, but I think it's fine. Let me know. Okay, this is something we have not done before. There's a lot of marketing campaigns. They say it is limited, but this is really, you cannot find this anywhere else. Because this is also my first video. I didn't say that, but I'm quite excited to also look at the outcome of this. So as a special limited time bonus, for people that are watching this video, we're giving a 25% discount. So if you're with us for a minimum of 3 months, that's the only thing we're asking. And we only give it to 10 agencies. So if you're interested, reach out to me and we'll give that to you now. And on top of that, we even have a 14 days money back guarantee. So actually, even before you decide to do that 3 month, 14-day money back guarantee. So in that 14 days, we'll give you multiple projects, multiple designs, just to show you how fast we can work, how the output is, how well we understand your brands, your briefing. And if in those 14 days you don't like it, you get a full refund without any questions asked. All right, so sign up with us today and you get your own personal dedicated designer, even a full creative team, depending on what package you would like to go for. Amazingly fast turnarounds within just 1 or 2 days, flexible monthly memberships, and on top of that, a 25% discount and a money back guarantee. What else can you ask for? So some questions that people ask a lot, is it really that easy? Yes, it is easy. And what exactly am I signing up for? So, right, DotYeti, we're a subscription-based creative platform. And once you sign up, you get access to our platform. You get your dedicated designer. You shoot in any request that you wish, and you get it in less than 48 hours. What happens when I wait? We're growing like crazy, so we can only handle a handful of extra agencies each month, because the main issue here is that we're working with a lot of agencies that can also themselves add a large number of brands. And that's why it's quite hard for us to accept an infinite number of customers. We just do it gradually. So remember, right? We always focus on high quality service and efficiency. So sometimes we do need to reject. And because we're going so hard, we're also actually looking at increasing our prices. So yeah, right now you really know what you can expect. What is the process like? Okay, so we start by providing access, give you a really proper onboarding, start also with an introduction call. I'll give you my contact details first at the end, so you can also reach out to me personally, because again, we want to understand you, even your clients, for the optimal result. And once that is done, you'll be able to shoot in your first request, and we'll dedicate a designer and even team that fits your brand style best. So yeah, really recommend just book an intro call, even if you don't want to maybe buy a package yet. Just let's get to know each other. We can talk about deliverables, expectations, goals. Always nice to learn more people in the industry. What results will I actually get from this? This is also amazing. You'll see results within a matter of days. We've had so many clients that even after a few days, they're already saying, "Oh man, this is amazing! Couldn't believe how fast you delivered, how creative it is." And yeah, and that's the thing. You'll immediately feel the long-term benefits. You notice that you save a lot of time, money, while working with us, and you feel relieved to put your creative work in a partner that you can trust. So yeah, no, again, we really got a lot of those compliments and feedback, also from their inner circle. So that's also really cool to see that, even, let's say, we're carrying a new social media campaign for a client, and then they get positive responses about those campaigns that they can again share with us. What does the money back guarantee mean? We are so confident in our services and team that we can offer you a full refund if you're not satisfied. So you'll just get access to our platform for 14 days with no risk, because we see it as our responsibility to show you how awesome our team is. Um, and after you get your first designs, you just choose if we're good enough to continue. So if not, you just get a refund, or we can still explore how we can improve the collaboration, right? Maybe there's things that are not communicated well. Maybe we should put another designer on it. Maybe you had different expectations. So we'll make sure that you are satisfied. All right, so that was it. For more information, just contact me either through email, or you can book a meeting with me. I'll also add the link